Don't get into what I used to. I had a podcast earlier in 2021 that I talked about this. I think it was called God's Timing. I'm gonna reiterate a little bit on that, and then a lot of people have been telling me about like their how they're impatient in their life and with everything that they're doing. So I want to start with this because man, when we get on here, man, like Cam said, we keep it funky. We not gonna sugarcoat anything. We're gonna keep it wild. We're gonna keep it right. First thing first, a lot of people, when we're expecting to get something, when we're wanting that materialistic thing, I feel like as a society, we feel like God is feel like, quite frankly, God is dumb. Like we look at God as if it's like taking candy from a baby. All we have to do is snap our fingers, close our eyes, pray, and then things will magically happen, as if that's always been the case, when it is truly not. Everything that we get, listen to me, everything that we get in our life, we have to earn, we have to work for it. You don't get anything for free. When you really think about everything, if you think about something right now that you've gotten for free, whether it was money from your mom, money from your dad, a present from your girlfriend, something in life, whether you got an award for football, something in your life you had to earn. Like your mom and dad just don't give you money for the heck of it. They either give it to you because you've been cleaning, they seen you doing good in school, something. It's something that you've done to get that money. It's something that you've done to get that award, something that you've done to get that person. So when we talk about, somebody handing us something, nobody hands you anything. You have got to work. I feel like as a society, man, we're becoming lazy. We have got to step back up to the plate and start working for everything. Especially this past year when COVID and everything first hit, I heard a lot of talk about, oh man, and it wasn't just adults, but I heard a lot of talk about, oh man, this generation these days, these kids don't want to work no more. They don't want to work. Granted, I'm gonna be completely honest. When you're talking about a worldwide pandemic, of course it's gonna be hard to work. Secondly, kids are getting smarter, prices are getting higher on certain things. So, kids don't want to work on those I'm not just gonna say kids, but people don't want to work on those $7 an hour just to, start up when, there's a lot of people making, starting out $15, $13 an hour, but, I get it where some, adults from a different generation can say, oh, well, back when, we only worked for $3 an hour, Well, if you go back to that point, times were a lot different then. You probably had things that costed 50 cents or whatever, but nowadays you have, those $1,000 worth of shoes that you desperately want, and you got to do whatever it takes. Again, I'm not pulling that up to post a point. That literally falls back on him, like literally. But what I'm saying is, you want those shoes, you want that car, you want, whatever you want that's materialistic. You have to be patient, okay? It's not gonna happen overnight, okay? The minimum that you can do is pray, right? The minimum that you can do is pray. And then take baby steps. When you're talking about buying the things that you want to buy and investing into the things that you want to buy, like you want to buy some land somewhere, okay, you got to do some research. All right, you got to do some research. Find out which lot you want to get, how much that lot costs, and what you have to put back, what you have to put forth. What are you willing to sacrifice to get that loan, to get that land, right? Because who got $17,000 in their pocket? I don't. I know I don't. Some people might do, but I don't. So what can you do? Okay, let's focus on step number one. Let's build our credit up to a score where people look at our score and be like, okay, yeah, you got a great credit score. Let's approve you for that loan, okay? If your credit score is not that high, all right, let's make payments on our credit card and let's get, maybe another credit card and let's build up that credit. Like financial literacy is key, okay? And buying the things that you want to buy, right? Your savings, buying the things you want to buy. And you got to watch what you spend your money on. When you get your paycheck, if you're working and you get your paycheck, you can't sploosh. And when sploosh, for those that you don't know, is go crazy with your money. But you can't sploosh. You can't go and sploosh as soon as you get your paycheck and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and spend a bag today. Can't do it, because this is what you're gonna do. And if you have enough money, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you, you know, some people looking at me right now like, Jordan, I got all this money I can't spend. No, I'm not telling you not to spend your money. You can spend your money. I want you to be smart with your money. You feel me? This is where generational wealth comes in, because when we're talking about spending money, it's not so much the fact of spending money anymore. It's what are you spending your money on? You know, like what when you get your paycheck, what is the first thing that you think about getting? Is it shoes? Is it paying my credit card bill when I know I got bills to be paid? Is it putting $50 towards my debt that I need to pay off? Is it, I've been hungry all day, I'm gonna go ahead and give me a little snack or whatever, and then like now I'm gonna put gas in my car because I desperately need gas, and then now I'm gonna put $100 into my savings? What is your mental state as soon as you get that paycheck, or as soon as you get a bag, or as soon as you get some piece of money to where you know you don't need it that right instinct, but you know you got it? What is your first instinct? That's what I want you to think about, because all this falls back to being patient. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you patient enough, whether you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or whatever, if you patient enough to say, hey, I know for a fact I'm getting paid this next Friday, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna, it's easy to say, I'm gonna spend this money, I'm gonna spend this $300, $400, $500 this week because I get paid next Friday. It's easy to say, I'm gonna do that because I know I'm getting another check next Friday. It's easy to say that when you think you know what's going on. Who's to say now, especially now, who's to say you catch COVID? Who's to say now something happens to where you have to spend that money for an emergency? Who's to say now that your car breaks down and you have to pay $600 on a car note? Who's to say that? So the fact that you sit there and you spend $500, $600 and you don't know the outcome of tomorrow baffles me, because you can't sit there and do that. That's not you want to start making executive decisions like a CEO, right? You want to be a boss, basically. Everybody wants to be a boss. You don't want to work for someone. You want to be someone that people work for. So until you can be a boss, you have to start making boss moves. And that's not just for your money, that's for your life. When you move around, you have to move around humbly. You can't move around and be conceited. You can't move around and say, yeah, like I got this and I got that and I got this and I got that, because at any instant it can be taken away from you. Best believe that. Like, no matter what, God always finds a way to take whatever you have that you want to be boastful about, He can take away, just like that. So when we're talking about being patient for the things that we want, it's not so much, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but we're to the point now where we're growing up. If you're not grown, then you're in your 20s, you're still young, but you still got a head on your shoulders. Listen, I know when we see materialistic things, because I do it too, don't get me wrong, I'm in the process right now of buying a new car, and literally my mind and my heart, I say my heart, every time I see a charger, oh my God, I gotta get a charger. What can I do? Let me go get my credit. Let me pay off this and that. Every single time. But I know up here, when I train my brain to say, no, not right now. Do what you do. Stay patient. Stay selective. Pay off your credit when you can. You don't have to rush anything. You're 23 years old. Okay? We're going to make mistakes, but we're not going to allow mistakes to happen. You feel what I'm saying? So you have got to be, you got to, like I said, go back to, you got to think like a CEO. You got to make CEO moves. You got to know that I have to maybe sacrifice going out this weekend all the way to Birmingham because I can't do the things that I want to do because I'm saving up for this car. That $200 that you spent that 1 week could be the difference in you getting a car or staying in the same car that you in, that old whatever. Or, just some of the main things that you've been doing or been thinking about doing, maybe you can't do that now. And I'm not saying that you can't do it no more. Take a week or two and recover financially. or mentally, or whatever it is emotionally that you have a problem with. Like, take a little moment and recover. Time's not going nowhere. Time is speeding up. I will say it don't stop for anyone, but at the same time, you can sit about a week and recover and make moves and plan out your next attack and be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna jump on top of this because this is what's important right now. What's not important is me going to Birmingham just to hang out with my friends when I know they're gonna be there in 3 or 4 more weeks. That's what you got to think about. So I like to say that all this comes back to being patient. You have to be patient for the things that you want and the outcomes that you want to happen, because if you sit there and you rush everything, not only is it not going to happen, but you're going to overdo it, and then you're going to make a mistake, and it's going to be a bigger problem than you started. Okay? And then I say that to say this. This is relating back to God's timing. I know a lot of y'all was like, but where's the God's timing talk? This is where it relates to God's timing. God, okay, is an on-time God. He's not a now God. He's not a late God. He's a on-time God. That means God may not be there when you want him, okay, but he will be there. He will be on time. He will be right on time. And when you ask me that question of how will we know, trust me, you will know when God is on time, because it will be something that happened in your life that you can't even imagine. You can't even fathom. You'll be like, where did that come from? Where did this $2,000 paycheck come from? Where did this tax money come from? Where did this car come from? Where did this house come from that wasn't there 3 weeks ago? And you'll know, like, it's a blessing from God. All things are gifts from God. All positive things are gifts from God. So when you get something positive in your life and you don't know like how it happened, you don't know how to explain it, you don't know why it happened, you have got to just like take a moment, man, and thank our Lord and Savior, because that's why we say God's timing is immaculate. It's impeccable. Like the way that he shows up when our needs are in full effect of being needed, it's amazing, and he knows it, because he could give us our gift or whatever we want just like that. But, he knows, like, at the end of the day, he wants us to be able to say, I earned that, We don't want to, at the end of the day, let's be real. It does feel good when someone gives you something for free. But remember what I said, nothing's not free. It does feel good, though. But doesn't it feel so much better when you can literally, like, on top of everything that you've done, you can sit there and say, I earned that. No matter what it was, that award, that scholarship, that present, that job, that car, whatever it is, whether it's materialistic, whether it's concrete, or whether it's abstract, you can sit there and say, I earned that. That feels better than anything in the world. Let me tell you, because I've earned a lot of stuff in my life, and I thank God for it. Because like without the ability that he gave me, and not even athletic ability, my brain to think, to start acting before doing, start watching how I move, watching what I do, watching how I spend my money, watching what I save, watching what I invest my stocks in. He's always been there to direct me and say, this is the way I want you to go. You can choose to go that way, which I'm not gonna lie to you. You can go that way and it can be wrong, or you can go down this road and it may be long also, but it's the right road to go on. That's a great question that I really want to ask. If you had 2 roads, if God gave you 2 roads, the right way that's going to be long and going to take however long to get there, or you had a chance to take this shortcut, and God's telling you, I don't know if the light's going to be at the end of that tunnel. I don't know if what you want is going to be at the end of that tunnel, but it's a shortcut. Would you take the shortcut, or would you take the road that's going to be right all the time? I'm taking the road that's going to be right all the time, no matter how long it get there. Because I know for a fact, if I take a shortcut, the shortcut ain't always going to be the right way to go. You know what I'm saying? You taking the shortcut might be a short end. You never know. Might be a dead end. Okay? Go ahead and take that shortcut and end up in a ditch. I'd rather take this right way and end up on a mountaintop. I'm just letting you know. So, But yeah, man, like I kind of just wanted to. I know I kind of ranted a little bit about financial literacy and patience and God's timing, but believe me when I say, like, I want everybody to get whatever they want in life. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my goals. Like, my biggest goal in life is to help as many people as I can, including myself. I'm still learning as I go on my journey today, and I don't know what's in store for me. I don't know whether I'll be playing football again. I don't know if I'll be doing this for the rest of my life, and I don't know if I'll be working for the rest of my life. But I know for a fact that God has a plan for me as well as you. And I know that, you know, we have to be patient for the things that we want to happen in life. You know, good, I'm not going to say bad, but good and positive. We definitely want good things to happen in our lives, but we got to be willing to do what it takes to get those things. You know what I'm saying? So if you got to be patient, if you got to just remain calm, if you got to keep it steady, pay off some credit, do what you got to do, whatever it is in life that you have to do to meet your goal at the end of the day. That's what you have to do. And it falls back on God's timing. You have to know that no matter what, He's not a now God. He's an on-time God. You know what I'm saying? God's timing is everything. You got to be the one to sit there and be patient for it. All right? So without that, man, I'm going to wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? It was a good episode. I appreciate y'all for listening. Appreciate y'all. Anything that y'all want me to talk about, please feel free. Comment, like, sub. Man, I got a YouTube going on. I'm planning to be at 10K subs by the end of the year. It may not happen, but I'm working towards it anyway. Follow my TikTok at TheJordan Montgomery, IG at TheJordan Montgomery, and YouTube at TheJordan Montgomery. We're on all platforms. The Montgomery Effect is now on Spotify as well as Apple Music and Anchor. Keep Afros of the South, man. Y'all keep ringing it up because we coming back day in, day out every single week. If you also want to be a guest on either show, The Montgomery Effect or Afros of the South, either get at me or get at Q or get at Kenny or Kelvin. Without that being said, man, I hope y'all have a wonderful night. God bless. If you need me, I'm always here. If you need Him, He's always